If you think chocolate chip cookies are great, wait till you taste these chocolate chip cookies. Come on to the kitchen. Let's learn how to make them. All right, so let's get started on these babies. All right, so what we have in this bowl is a stick of Earth Balance. You can also use avocado oil, but I find that Earth Balance gives me a nicer cookie texture. The next thing to go in is a half cup of Suzanne's Specialties maple flavored brown rice syrup, the best sweetener on earth. Okay, so that's going to go in. It gives you that nice little hit of sweetness, and the fenugreek that's cooked into the maple flavor just kind of puts you over the edge for sweetness. The next thing I add, and this is not for sweetness, but to give the cookies a texture that's cookie-ish, 2 tablespoons of coconut sugar. I love it. I hope so deeply that no bad news comes out about coconut sugar, because I'm loving it in cookies. All right. The last ingredient to go into this part of the cookie is a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. That's it. Now, you're going to take a hand mixer. You can do this by hand with a whisk, but I find that the hand mixer really helps to whip this and give it that sort of whipped, buttery thing that we used to do with cookies when we cooked with sugar and butter. And you really kind of get it nice and fluffy. That's it. It takes a second of that noise. Okay. So now we start our dry ingredients. We're going to take a half teaspoon of baking soda, a half teaspoon of baking powder, which is the opposite of what I usually do, a pinch of salt, a touch of cinnamon to make the chocolate more chocolatey, okay, about a 1/4 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. You want to use the good stuff for this. So don't buy, really lousy stuff. Try to get organic, fair trade, as this is. And don't tightly pack it, rather. You want to loosely pack this. So, it's like a nice 1/4 cup. So that goes in. Now we're going to add whole wheat pastry flour. And again, don't tightly pack anything. Don't do that thing where you measure it off with a knife. Call that a cup. And then another 1/4 cup for a total of 1.5 cups, including the cocoa powder. That's everything, I think. Yep. So now you just mix this together by hand. You don't need the mixer anymore. Now you want to do this by hand so you get the feel of a nice, soft cookie dough that will seem buttery and rich. And you'll see that your cocoa starts to mix in here, and it'll just start to pull together under your spoon pretty quickly. And as soon as it's about 80% mixed and you like the texture, see how that started to gather together into a ball? Now you add a 1/2 cup walnuts. You can also use pecans, but walnuts are really nice and they're high in omega-3. And a cup of chocolate chips. These are non-dairy grain sweetened, so there's no simple refined sugars in these cookies. And yet, they are spectacularly yummy and really easy to make. So you see, this is a nice, soft cookie dough, and that's what you want. So the next step that you do is to simply take a teaspoon, and you're going to wet your fingers for this because the dough is a little sticky. And you're going to take a little bit of your dough, and then you literally press it into shape with your fingers. Now that doesn't look like a big cookie, but I'm telling you, they're going to double in size. And you're just going to fill the sheet with these, leave some room in between each one so they have room to grow. And then you're going to bake these at between 15 and 16 minutes. You want to take them out of the oven while they're still a little bit soft so they don't get too crunchy. You want a little crunch, a little softness to your cookie, and then they're perfect. And as easy as this sounds, if you don't want to make them, head on over to Christina's Cookies and order them for yourself, and we'll make them for you. But in the meantime, you can make them yourself. Okie doke, it's been 16 minutes, and here they are, these gorgeous chocolate chip. You can see how they puffed up to twice their size. Just gorgeous and yummy. Best cookies ever.